What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a good overview of Faraday future tickers FFIE. I want to give you a good breakdown of what happened with the shorts, what the data behind the scenes is all saying, and where it could potentially go from here. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. On a side note, if there is any other stocks that you guys are very interested in and you are looking for further overviews of, let me know in the comments below. I'd be definitely interested in seeing what you guys have on in store potentially. So regardless, let's get right to it. So looking at the intraday, I absolutely love this. A nice step-laddered approach, very good support. And again, it's not massive spikes up where it's very unsustainable, because as you can see, whenever there is a typical big spike, it does consolidate a little bit down to the next big support. So again, what did happen today was very positive. As far as shorts, definitely interesting in that aspect. So short score is currently 75, utilization is 100%, and short interest as of right now is almost about 23%, so 22.5 give or take. And despite it going up almost about 50% today, shorts did in fact increase 2.19 million shares, bringing the grand total to 87.65 million. A lot of people are talking about Faraday being a huge squeeze coming, and fundamentally, looking on paper, it can. So definitely a very positive thing. You do need a little bit more of a rally behind the scenes, because I feel that what did happen today was a little bit more of a combination of a value rally and also FOMO kicking in, not necessarily a squeeze because of shorts. So you definitely need to kind of distinguish between the two. And as of based on this, the overall amount of volume was through the roof. So 140.6 million shares being traded just today alone, versus the average is 34.8. No actual news or anything that did come out today particular causing Faraday to go up this much. So a lot of people are saying that it is a squeeze, but like I just showed you, it's not necessarily the case. I'm going to give you a good breakdown of what happened on the secondary market and the dark pool. So what happened on the secondary market, there was a lot of big money getting in. So keep in mind, on the secondary market, this is typically what retail investors do trade on. And this is also showing anything over 100,000. So in general, pretty good. You can see what the normal is, so just one transaction a day or so, but today there was 5, so a big change. So a lot more big money was getting in. And when it comes down to this aspect, this is the dark pool. Typically some people don't like the dark pool because it is very much linked to shorting and various other things, but there was 175,000 just in one transaction, and based on the options activity, very much bullish, because you do see a ton of calls being purchased. And based on the hot chains, it does look like $1 or $1.50 is assumed within roughly about 30 days. So let me know your thoughts on that. Clearly behind the scenes, a lot of anticipation for a massive squeeze, whether it be because of operational updates or potentially just the shorts. There's a lot of different moving parts, and I think right now, with it being earnings week, a very big optimistic earnings week, that is going to cause further FOMO for most likely up until Thursday, on which GDP numbers are coming out, and on Friday is PCE, and PCE is very much used by the Feds to kind of determine interest rates or inflation, I should say. So I think that is most likely going to be working in Faraday's future. Again, my own interpretation. I'm not a financial advisor, but looking on the actual charts, it is outside the boiling event, and unless there's some justifiable reason, it typically does get pulled down. So this is most likely why it is pulling down a little bit, so down 0.5%, but in the grand scheme of things, that's absolutely nothing compared to what happened today. And looking at stochastic, for the longest time, ever since around the 12th or even the 11th, it's become very much overbought. But when it comes down to a lot of increased in volume, that kind of skews stochastic a little bit. So I think it is fair to say that it can stay overbought for a couple more days longer until there's going to be a little bit more of a consolidation period, which again is still very healthy. Momentum as of right now looks like the number of retail investors were very much getting in today. And once again, that could be seen as a positive, as a negative. I'll leave it to you guys to make that determination. But overall though, I think there is a lot of FOMO, especially like I mentioned, and a lot of other factors working in Faraday's kind of aspect. So I do see a lot more upside to come. As far as where it can go, we do know technically that there is that 200-day moving average at $1.85, but outside of that, it's actually past all the other previous big resistance point. So in theory though, it could trend a lot higher if there is some good piece of news. And of course you need that X factor. You need that good piece of news for it to justifiably go up. But I do see a lot of upside coming. That's my own opinion, of course. There's a lot of different things that could happen, but clearly Faraday is very much optimistic. Like I said, this was a very highly anticipated and requested video from more specifically my other channel and also on Twitter. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below as well if you've been buying, selling, holding, or whatever you are doing with Faraday. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Faraday.